Hi everyone, this is Carlo and welcome to my channel. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I love scrapbooking journaling. Borderline obsessively. Today we're gonna talk about mini scrapbooking, which is something that I like to do on a daily basis and I think you might enjoy it too. Mini scrapbooking is the perfect daily practice to keep your creative juices flowing, even when you don't have much time. If you're an artist, it can help you when you feel stuck in a creative slump. But it's also such a fun, easy and satisfying activity that anyone can incorporate into their daily routine to have some relaxing me time. What you need is a small format notebook, an A6 or passport size or even smaller. I've used one of my handmade recycled paper notebooks. And you can make your own if you want. You will find the tutorial on my channel and I will link it up here. Then of course you need a pair of scissors and a glue stick. In terms of paper, I suggest you to collect some pages from old books. I like to keep a vintage aesthetic on my scrapbooks. So I use a lot of old photos, stickers with maps and postage items, and a lot of paper ephemera that I collected through the years. Of course, there's no limit to the kind of paper scraps that you can use. If you don't like the vintage style, you can use magazine cutouts or product packaging. You can play with colors, with shapes, different textures. You do you, boo. I've recorded a few time lapses while I was working on this mini scrapbook in the past month. Hopefully they will give you a few ideas that you can work with. And towards the end of the video there's also a full flip through of all the pages of this complete mini scrapbook. So make sure you stay until the end. When it comes to mini scrapbooking, it's important to keep in mind that you don't necessarily need to have a full realized idea into your head before starting creating. You can just start with simple clusters of paper scraps, layered together. You can keep it as minimal as you want to start with. And then little by little, when you feel ready, you can start creating more complex pages. Normally, I like to think of my open journal as a canvas made of two pages that dialogue together. So I tend to create spreads across the two pages, or keep some sort of symmetry and balance between the two. I often do what I call the wallpapering, which is filling the whole page with journal notes, quotes or large paper scraps to use as a base. And then I keep creating on top of it. Here, for instance, I made a wallpaper using stickers with vintage maps, and it helped me to visually differentiate the two pages, but still keeping a cohesive idea between the two. I sometimes like to use acrylic gesso to add a textural element with this kind of brushstroke look. I layer these streaks of gesso with my paper scraps, making sure I dry them with a hairdryer in between layers. Not only I like the vintage look that acrylic gesso gives, but also it creates the perfect surface if you want to paint on top of it, or use charcoal or soft pastels. Photographs, as you know, are one of the key elements of scrapbooking. In this mini journal, I incorporated vintage photos that I found on books and online through the years. If you don't own a digital copy of the photo you want to use, I always advise to scan it and print it, so you can have freedom to alter the photo and play with it, and you'll always have the original copy stored safely. As you will see in the next time lapses, I often cut the backgrounds of these vintage pictures, but still keeping the frame, and this creates interesting layering effects within the page. In this other journal spread, I decided to again cut the background, but also use it to create a mirroring effect between the two pages, like a photographic negative image. In this case, I kept everything cohesive using scraps from an old botanical book as a background. You can purchase online a lot of different ephemera and paper elements to incorporate into your scrapbook, but I tend to create my own as much as possible. Like I did with these gears and cogs. I've assembled the gear shapes on Canva, layering them with handwritten manuscript images. Then I printed them on card, cut them, and gave them a vintage look, just tapping them against an ink pad for stamps. This is a very easy process for a surprising final result. Mini-scrapbooking is a great practice for many reasons. The small format of the notebook makes it less intimidating, and the fact that you don't necessarily need to write journal notes, but you can just incorporate quotes or write nothing at all and let the images speak, is surely a winning feature. The collage technique is one of the first creative activities that they teach us as children. And scrapbooking is the perfect way to recuperate that kind of creative freedom as adults. Are you ready for a flip through? Before I leave you to it and say goodbye, if you like this video, don't forget to check my journaling playlist on the channel. And feel free to like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you once again for watching. Take care and see you soon.